there, Army of Christ, AOC. Welcome to my little corner of the podcast world, where I spill out my thoughts, and hopefully, some of them resonate with you. Today, I want to tackle a question that might seem simple, but is deceptively profound. Do all Christians know who God is? Now you might be thinking, of course they do. That's why they're Christians, right? But let's dig a bit deeper. For over 2 decades of my life, I identified as a Christian. I wasn't just a name on a membership roll type of believer. I attended church every Sunday, honored the Sabbath, paid my tithes, and said my prayers. I followed all the rules and rituals my parents taught me. Yet despite all this, something was missing. My journey with God felt like following a well-worn map, without really knowing the destination. I was doing all the right things, but didn't truly understand why. It was only this year that my relationship with God started to feel personal and real. Before, God was more of a distant, powerful figure, like the CEO of a huge company you work for but never actually meet. You know of him, you follow his policies, but do you really know him? Growing up, I viewed God through the lens of my family. My parents' faith shaped my own, and their instructions guided my spiritual practices. I did what they did because, well, that's what you do as a kid. You mimic your parents. But this mimicry doesn't always translate to understanding. It's no surprise that many young adults drift away from the faith they were brought up in once they get a taste of independence. Why? Because their relationship with God was often built on borrowed beliefs and inherited rituals. They followed a path laid out by others without ever forging their own connection to the divine. It wasn't until recently that I began to see God as more than a set of rules or a distant authority figure. I started to experience him as a presence in my daily life, someone I could converse with, not just someone to ask things from. This shift from ritual to relationship has been challenging and, at times, shaky. Trust doesn't come easily, especially when you're used to seeing God as a list of do's and don'ts, rather than as a loving entity who wants a personal connection with you. So, this brings me back to my question. Do all Christians know who God is? The answer, I think, is complex. Many might know about God, his teachings, his commandments, his stories. But truly knowing God is different. It's about engaging with him in a way that transcends rituals and enters the realm of a personal relationship. Think about it this way. Knowing about someone famous, like a celebrity or historical figure, means you're familiar with their achievements and public persona. But knowing a close friend or family member means understanding their personality, their hopes, their fears, and their heart. The same goes for God. I invite you to reflect on your own journey. How do you see God? Is he a distant figure you worship out of obligation, or a close companion in your daily walk? Are you following a map someone else drew for you, or are you exploring the terrain of your faith on your own terms? If you're like me, still figuring things out, that's okay. Faith is a journey, not a destination. And sometimes, the questions we ask are more important than the answers we find. Thanks for joining me in this exploration. Let's keep the conversation going. Share your thoughts and experiences. Until next time, stay curious and stay connected to the divine. I hope this resonated with you and perhaps sparked a new way of thinking about your own faith journey. This is your host, signing off from the AOC podcast. See you next time.